Were you ever interested in a day of the life of a full-time food blogger? A little about us: we are a Ukrainian family of 8, homeschool, live on a farm, cook most of our meals from scratch with simple recipes, including practical sourdough breads to constantly feed our large family. I share a week of wholesome recipes that we ate this week. So I hope to inspire your homemaking journey and maybe even inspire you to try a Ukrainian dish. Trust me, it's not that complicated. We also run a full-time cooking blog called alonascooking.com, so be sure to check that out if you need specific ingredients or instructions. I like to roughly plan my meals at the end of the week to mainly use up what I have in my fridge and freezer. It helps me stay on track and is always flexible based on what we have going that week. I do try to keep a list of meals I can easily make in a cinch. So on Monday, I started making toast to what we call egg scramble. This is one of our morning quick staples, and it's basically fried breakfast sausage that I add a dozen of eggs mixed with milk, salt, and pepper. Scramble the eggs into the fried sausage until set, then just sprinkle in some cheese and let that melt while you set the table and finish toasting up the rest of the bread. I always use our go-to whole grain sourdough sandwich bread for this breakfast, and we all love it with butter and strawberry jam. It goes so well with the sausage and egg scramble. You could also find the breakfast sausage recipe on my blog. If you have a husband who hunts, breakfast sausage is the perfect way to use it up in bulk. My husband processes wild hogs pretty often, so I've learned to use it up well by making breakfast sausage. On Monday, I also had some sourdough breads going. I made some sourdough whole wheat rye bread, some bagels, and Italian herb baguettes. All of these are made with freshly milled flour, and the Italian herb bread smells so good, kind of like Subway when you get a whiff of the Italian herb and cheese bread. It's a must try. I bake sourdough breads once a week and plan to use them throughout this week for the meals mentioned in this video. So I fed my starter early in the morning and started making all of the doughs between breakfast and lunch. Okay, so for Monday lunch, we had Ukrainian braised potatoes. I used some canned venison to make these tender potatoes, but you can use fresh meat and just fry it first and then add some water to simmer it to make tender meat. But I'm using venison. It's a big shortcut, and that way I can start frying the diced onions, the grated carrots, and some cooking oil. And while that's sauteing, just peel some potatoes, cube them up, and stir in the canned venison into the carrot and onion mixture and bring it to a full boil. For this recipe, you'll need about 3 pounds of any meat cubed up. In my case, I used canned venison, about 2 quarts, 3 large carrots grated, 3 onions diced, 7 pounds of potatoes cubed, 4 bay leaves, 1 heaping tablespoon of Montreal steak seasoning, 1 heaping tablespoon of paprika and salt, and about 3/4 tablespoon of black pepper. After you stir in the meat to the carrots and onions, add in the cubed potatoes, seasonings, and up to a quart of water. I used canned meat, so I had some liquid in each jar to start with, so I ended up using about 2 cups of water in total. Simmer this for 1.5 hours and you'll have a delicious potato dish. We call this potato dish tushnaya kartoshka in Ukraine. This is such comfort food for us. I served it with our Korean carrot salad recipe, dill pickles, and sour cream. If you try these potatoes, comment under this video to let me know how you liked it. Monday was a busy day. I finished up baking all of my sourdough breads and got dinner going. For dinner, we had leftovers with a loaf of the Italian herb bread. Tuesday, I'm getting the toaster ready to toast up some of the whole wheat sourdough bagels that I made on Monday. Mondays are my sourdough baking days, and it's so nice to bake up all of the breads you need so you can use them throughout the week. We love our bagels with cream cheese and strawberry jam. This bagel recipe is so simple, and I love that it's made with freshly milled flour, and they're chewy, delicious. My children never complain about them. My husband loves them. We all really enjoy them as a family, and yeah, I hope you try it out. I've been loving my new cafe style curtains that I showed a whole step-by-step tutorial on my Instagram page, so if you want to check that out, you should. I love the rings and the cottage vibe that it gives our new farmhouse kitchen. Tuesday lunch, I had some heavy cream potatoes going. This dish is so good. If you haven't noticed yet, Ukrainians are big potato eaters and dairy users. For this, you'll need a quart of heavy cream, some carrots, and onions. Cut the potatoes into wedges and shred the carrots and dice the onion. For the heavy cream, I just scoop off the cream off of our raw milk. We have a dairy farm about 5 minutes down the road, and we usually have our usual raw milk pickup once a week. My husband just goes to his farm, draws the milk into our glass gallon jars and brings them home. I'm using mushroom bouillon cubes that I picked up at the European market, but you can use chicken bouillon powder or beef bouillon cubes. The mushroom bouillon definitely adds really good umami flavor, and if you don't have that, you could try the umami mushroom seasoning from Trader Joe's. That would be a great substitute, but the mushrooms definitely add something really, really good, and you could always use fresh mushrooms too. Just saute them in some butter. That would make this dish even more better, but mushroom bouillon cube is definitely really handy to have on hand for dishes like this or gravy in a cinch. To make my mother-in-law's baked potatoes with heavy cream, you'll need about 5 pounds of potatoes cut into wedges, 4 carrots grated, 2 onions diced, 4 mushroom bouillon cubes, 1 cup of water to clean out the quart of heavy cream, 1 quart of heavy cream, 1 tablespoon of salt, and some oil to fry the carrots and onion. You'd fry that first in some cooking oil, and then add the heavy cream and bouillon cubes. After that comes to a boil, just let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Meanwhile, make sure that you boil the potatoes or bring them to a boil, and you can let them boil for 1 or 2 minutes. We're just parboiling them. And then drain them and transfer them to a big baking dish. You're going to need a large one because this does make a hefty batch. And yeah, just pour the sauce, the heavy cream sauce, over the potatoes and cover it with foil and bake for about 1.5 hours at 350 degrees. My mother-in-law often made this for Sunday lunch, and she would just prep it in the morning and have it kept warm in the oven, and it was really good. Here I'm just setting up the dinner table with my daughter. We have been eating dinner with the candles and take the time to pass our food around for dinner. I've noticed I've been more relaxed during meals this way, and the children feel so special. It was something I was very intentional about and decided to commit to in order to bring good memories for our children and slow down the chaos. We always try to gather for meals, but oftentimes I did buffet style until I decided to do dinner more formal, and we all love it this way. Wednesday, I made a Mennonite egg and cheese bake because I needed to use up the cottage cheese sitting in my fridge. The recipe calls for Velveeta type cheese, but I used grated Monterey Jack cheese. This came out so good, and one of my sons requested it for breakfast again. I don't have any cottage cheese left, but if you want to get that extra protein into your children, this casserole is definitely a must try. also had tvorog going. Tvorog is farmer's cheese, and if you're looking for a way to use up lots of raw milk, then making cheese is something to consider. I used homemade milk kefir as the culture for my cheese to get it to set quicker, but you can use buttermilk or yogurt. To make it, add a quart of strained kefir to a gallon of milk, let it sit on the stove for 2 days, and then stir and bake uncovered for 3.5 hours at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Strain and you have cheese. Wednesday lunch and dinner was very simple. I had made a cabbage salad last week and it makes a huge batch. The good thing is that it's so versatile and lasts a long time in the fridge as long as it's under the brine. I use it for quick salads and in this soup. This soup is so easy. Bring 3 quarts of water, 1.5 tablespoons of salt, and 4 large potatoes cubed to a boil. Simmer for 20 minutes, then add a quart of this cabbage salad and 1 tablespoon of vegeta. Vegeta is an all-purpose seasoning blend, and I have the recipe on my blog how to make it from scratch. Ukrainians use it a lot in their cooking. The cabbage salad is packed with sweet bell peppers, onion, and carrots, so it makes a great base to any soup. At the end, I stir in 4 tablespoons of sour cream, and even toddlers enjoy this soup. I love simple recipes like this to get meals going. Along to our soup on this winter day, I made these avocado BLT grilled cheese sandwiches. Using my whole grain artisan bread I had froze. I just spread mayo over bread slices, top it with cheese, bacon slices, and avocado slices. Fry them in a little grease, which in my case, I just used the bacon grease. These were a hit for the whole family and the perfect addition to the simple soup. Cooking from scratch can seem very complicated, but it really comes down to knowing the basics. For instance, if you learn how to cook rice, boil potatoes, cook meat, vegetables, you know the basics. No doubt winging this comes from lots of home-cooked meals, which is where recipes can come in handy, not only for yourself, but also to pass them down to your children. That's why blogging has become a passion, to share tried and true recipes and to pass them on. Something I have talked about with my husband is cooking can be very complicated. Think about all the diversity of cuisines our country has. If we try to grasp all of the offered recipes, cookbooks, or people offer us, it can be overwhelming. But if you stick with the simple and basic techniques of cooking, you can really cook any cuisine. In order to feed my family from a day-to-day basis, it's the simple recipes and basic cooking techniques that works for the way we eat during the week. Many of the Ukrainian dishes our mothers made were simple. They had gardening to tend to, a wood stove to maintain. Life had to be simple. They ate wholesome food. To me, having healthy meals consistently is only through simple cooking habits. Thursday morning, I started dicing some potatoes for oven-baked breakfast potatoes. I cubed about 3 large potatoes, drizzled it with olive oil, and sprinkled a generous amount of garlic salt, paprika, and black pepper. Our children love these hash browns, and they are so easy to make. Bake them at 450 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes or until they're golden brown and done. You can even broil them if you need them even faster. I like to serve these potatoes alongside fried eggs, and everyone is happy. My favorite way to eat them is to dip them into sriracha sauce, but my children love them with homemade ketchup. after breakfast, I started lunch. For lunch, I did beef barley lentil soup that all goes into the slow cooker raw. Well, except the beef. I browned 1 pound of ground beef and 1 onion in a skillet and then layered it with 2 cups of diced potatoes, completely raw, 1 cup of celery, 1 cup of carrots, 1 cup of dried lentils, half a cup of pearl barley, 8 cups of water, 2 beef bouillon cubes, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of lemon pepper, and a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. I make my own lemon pepper by dehydrating leftover lemon peels, then blend them up and add black pepper, white pepper, salt, dried onion, dried garlic, curry powder, a pinch of nutmeg, coriander, and some citric acid to give it a little tang. Lemon pepper is like an all-purpose pepper mix that works well here. When you make this soup, you can forget about supper until the kitchen is filled with wonderful aroma. We serve this alongside with homemade crusty Italian herb bread that I made from sourdough and freshly milled flour earlier this week. This soup is so good and feels so healthy and satisfying. It's one of my standby slow cooker soups for easy weeknight dinners and will last you a couple of days because it does make a hefty batch. We had this Friday too, but to switch things up from serving the same old thing, you can add some sandwiches on the side. Here, I'm making ham, bacon, and ranch sliders, but using sourdough hamburger buns using freshly milled flour instead. I usually use my whole wheat sourdough dinner rolls recipe for these. For the hamburger buns, I used my sourdough sandwich bread recipe with freshly milled flour, only I made them into buns instead of loaves. My sliders recipe is extremely fluffy and works better for slider type recipes, but buns work too. To make the sliders, melt half a cup of butter, 2 tablespoons of green onions, diced, 1 teaspoon of garlic salt, half a teaspoon of onion powder, and 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese. Brush the bottom of the rolls with half of the butter mixture, then layer cheese, ham, and bacon. Drizzle some ranch dressing on the top, and then just top the other half of the bun, brush that with the leftover butter mixture, and cover the baking dish with foil. Bake at 350 degrees for 20 minutes, then uncover and bake 5 more minutes for golden brown tops. We love these sliders, and you can use turkey meat, rotisserie chicken, or any cooked meat really. I have been trying to stay away from nitrates, so thankfully I was able to buy some naturally cured bacon from Walmart that doesn't have nitrates. I hope you got some ideas for some quick and easy meals. As a full-time food blogger, quick and simple meals are the only way I can get so many things done. But at the same time, I don't want to compromise our family's health, so wholesome and simple meals are important to me. Subscribe and comment below if you like these kind of videos. Until next time, farewell.